Let's continue our conversation now on SAA. It posted a net loss of 5.6 billion rand for the past financial year, significantly up on the 1.5 billion loss it suffered in 2015-2016 financial year. This, of course, is according to the Auditor General Kimi Makwetu's audit report. In studio with us, we've got Vuyani Jarana, who is the CEO of SAA. When can we expect the actual results from SAA? I know you've got extensions. They were meant to be due, I think it was in September last year, but obviously there have been extensions that have been requested. But when can we get this?
Leanne, we are expecting to release the results before the end of March.
Yeah. I mean, I worry, and I think the biggest concern is the management of SAA in the past and where we're at with this airline, because what the Auditor General has again said is that SAA didn't keep proper records of financial information or adequately value property, planes and other assets. Another very big thing was saying that there's actually also no way of talking about the handing out of contracts. The Auditor General couldn't find the legal awarding of contracts. I mean, these are vital aspects that are bringing this organisation to its knees. What have you found since your time there?
Look, I think one of the key things that's important is around skills at SAA. So both commercially as well as in terms of the overall procurement area of things, including finance. So bring back in skills into SAA will help us fix these particular issues. I think South Africans will realize that there's been a lot of leadership instability at SAA, a lot of people acting, people in roles for a very short period of time. Then there's lack of continuity, and people are on short-term execution. People hardly knew if they were acting for 2 years, for 3 months, and so on. So it's important to bring stability in any organization, and that's what the board has signed up to do. That's what I'm committed to bring. Yeah. Stability, people employed, to actually focus on the job and begin to deal with these things. These things that the AG is raising are very basic issues of administration.
And you agree with what the AG is saying? I mean, the management of SAA has been appalling, right?
Well,
up to date. I'm not talking during your time, before your time.
All I can say is that these results reflect the level of instability that has been there in management. We need to bring skills into SAA and to be able to focus on dealing with these particular issues. Yeah. These things are not complex issues. They are very basic table stakes for management. But you need people who are skilled. You need people who are committed to execute on those. And that's what we are going to do with the board in terms of strengthening SAA's capacity to deliver on the strategy.
I mean, we haven't seen numbers as yet, but what I'm reading about SAA is frightening me, because this is my money and the rest of South Africa's money, your money included, as we pay tax. When, under the tenure of Vuyani, SAA was costing the taxpayer 12 million rand a day, from figures that I'm reading. It was costing 300 million rand a month. It operated at a loss for 6 years. Honestly, how do you turn this around? I know it was one of my first questions to you. Is it even possible?
Look, if you look at SAA, Leanne, it's all about the market. If you look at the market is growing. If the market was not growing domestically, regionally, internationally, we would have a different problem. Now, it's growing notwithstanding the level of competition. So a strong organization in a growing market has a space under the sun. However, it's how SAA addresses the market, your internal capability, your cost structure, how you operate, your levels of efficiency, and a deep understanding of the customer and the market. That's what we are building in terms of the new strategy. So it's not a case of saying it's game over. The market is growing. It has not become a pie of a fixed size, which means there's a space for SAA to reclaim its position. And it does have customers who are very loyal. Yeah. It's about the cost base, how we address them, also the focus on the network. That's why we took some of the initiative drastic initiative for route optimization domestically, regionally, internationally. You would have seen that we have said we are going to cancel the second London flight and put a new product there. That gives us the ability to compete. We've made decision to rationalize capacity in the domestic market. In the region, we've seen that we've done the Central Africa. So the days of flying to any route because it's a city are long gone. It's all about precision, focusing on where we can optimize. Of course, you need to remain relevant in terms of size.
Well,
those are the things we've made.
Because I mean, I am one of your most dedicated customers, and I will only fly SAA problem is my options are getting more and more limited as you're cutting routes and you're trying to keep the airline flying, and yet I can't go anywhere with you. I mean, if I can't catch that London flight once a day, then I have to find another airline. And this is my worry, is that you're losing customers, not gaining them.
Absolutely. It's also correct to say you will lose a degree of market share in the process. However, where we are today, our biggest focus is to make sure that we can operate profitable.
Yeah.
If you look at the London route, for example, the second flight we're making significant losses. All we have said to do is to say, let's first strengthen and consolidate on the first flight. And many people are saying to us, well, BA is growing the number of fleets, but it's a one world hub. We are point to point. They're aggregating all the traffic in the Heathrow airport. So we need to be clear about the market we're serving, how we serve it, and what we are doing, we are pruning our capability in order to be able to grow again. It doesn't help having big aspirations to say, oh, with a massive organization, you can be everything to everyone. We also understand that a one flight a day to London initially with a good product will be sufficient for both us and some of our customers. And after that, we start pushing for growth for additional flights based on what we see in the market.
I just have to ask you, I saw a report yesterday coming out in one of the newspapers also talking about the fact that the Guptas in some way were involved in stopping one of your routes. That's a very profitable South Africa-India route. And, you know, this was to the advantage of another airline. Can you confirm that for us? I mean, did this happen?
Well, Leanne, we haven't even gone there. The biggest focus for us in terms of what happened in the past, our biggest focus is to quickly rebase SAA, build a forward-looking strategy. Of course, we're looking at the whole area of the Asia-Pacific region because we're actually servicing it through Perth as well as Hong Kong per se. In fact, Hong Kong is the aggregation hub for us. We're looking for alternative options. The team is busy studying how best we serve India and China. I guess out of the wash, then these things will come out in terms of the modeling. Today, we have not looked back and say which route we pulled out and why we did so. Yeah. We're really focusing on saying how to bring SA to stability in the shortest space in time.
Shouldn't we privatize SAA? Should we go that route? This is, I read something that was quite interesting, and it was a way of describing SAA, government's vanity project. Isn't it enough money that we've put in there? We can't afford as a country to put more into an airline. Shouldn't we just privatize it?
I think government has already made a call in that direction. If you look at the announcement made that we should look at a strategic equity partner, that's a journey. That's bringing in private sector skills, private sector capital into the airline. To get there, though, you need to first fix the airline because if you don't fix it, you probably have very few suitors. Until you fix the airline, you may struggle to attract a strategic equity partner. So government has made the call in that regard.
All right. You know what? We look forward to hosting you again, and especially when your results do come out, we get a better picture of what's been happening since you've been there. But we so thank you for your time and your honesty for sitting here with us on the programme.
Thank you for having me.
This is SAA CEO Vuyani Jarana talking to us about the Auditor General's report and the issues surrounding SAA. Let's take a break. News at 7 after this.